Welcome back everyone to Pigeon Studios. In today's episode we're going to be covering the round of 16 for the LEGO Star Wars World Cup. Let's get straight into all of the mocks. Unfortunately, like last week, there were 3 matchups where people didn't submit a mock. So the first 3 mocks that I'm reviewing are going to go through by default. However, Bricks on Fire 7's awesome entry based off the Rising Malevolence episode is perfect for this contest. With the floating Wolfpack troopers to the side, the escape pod floating through the debris, the TIE fighter cockpit piece used on the escape pod, all of these techniques are brilliant. One I'd like to highlight in particular is, I believe, the headlight brick used with the 1x2 bar piece to represent the stars in the background. Overall, great job. You're through to the next round. EMF, your build is also through by default, based off Season 7, Episode 11. Another cool build. I love all the translucent blue panels used throughout the mock, as well as the greebling used for a border. That's a really cool technique. The piece is also used for the kind of control panel that sits below Ahsoka. It's an interesting technique. I believe that's a clone turbo tank wheel. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, but I love how he's used the old 501st Troopers. He said he didn't have the right minifigures, but I think it looks good nonetheless. So you are also through to the next round. Our last winner by default is by Rag Clips, a late entry based off Season 3, Episode 21, Padawan Lost. Now, I believe this is supposed to be Felucia, because it's got Plo Koon and the Wolfpack Troopers. Geez, there are some really cool minifigures, the Wolfpack Troopers. The fact that he's got the originals is super cool. I think this is based on the scene where they're trying to enter the Separatist outpost. Let me know if I'm wrong. Some interesting techniques used here. The Minecraft kind of headpieces used for cool texture. Nice black border. Overall, simple mock, but I guess you through to the next round, so well done. The first matchup for the round of 16 kicks off with the Matthew Torres 91's build, based off Season 7, Episode 1, a mock of Anaxis, I believe, with the Crash Gunship and the Bad Batch, along with Rex, Jesse, and Cody. Overall, I really love the colours that are used in this mock. The dark blue and the black work well for Anaxis, even though it's usually done in grey, but I do quite like the colour choice. The Crash Gunship in the background is cool with all the flames. I love that he's used my custom Bad Batch that I made a couple weeks ago and I'm using for my current mock. Overall, really cool mock. Let's see what he's up against. Against that mock is PastToPlastic's mock of the Siege of Mandalore. Quite noticeable by the minifigures used in this mock. I love the flame coming out of one of the Death Troopers' arms, the grates used on the lower levels, all of the greebling detail, but overall I think I've got to give it to the other mock based Matthew Torres 91. You're through to the next round. This is a very close matchup, kicked off by Lucitobs_14, whose mock I originally thought was based off the Clone Wars movie, because I thought the Baby Yoda was supposed to be a Rotter the Hutt, but he later told me that it was based off Season 1, Episode 7, The Rescue of R2-D2. An interesting choice for your favourite episode. Overall, mock gives old school style of LEGO Star Wars mock, kind of the 2017 era. I love the use of tiles and a little bit of stud, so it's not too smooth. The Captain Rex Phase 1 is a nice addition. Overall, relatively simple mock with the corridor, but it's perfect for this competition. However, his opponent put up a heck of a fight. By I'm a Normal Guy Lego, another Season 7 entry based off Episode 10. This is Maul's Throne Room. The lighting in this mock is absolutely stunning and really adds to the value of the mock. So I think just because of that, I'm a Normal Guy Lego, you're through to the next round. It was very close, but you're through. Empire mock kicks off the next matchup with this Siege of Mandalore mock. A perfect little Mandalore mock. I love the black border on the outside, the kind of almost Minecraft looking little tree at the bottom. He's got some expensive minifigures with the Gar Saxon and the Bo-Katan. All the colours used in this mock are perfect. The little addition of tan, the dark grey, the majority in light grey. Overall, a perfect little Siege of Mandalore mock. The next mock is by Fragile Bricks, based off Season 5, the arc where Ahsoka runs away from the Jedi and eventually leaves the Order. This mock has some great detail based off the Coruscant underworld. I love the kind of sign used with the neon colours, as well as the kind of translucent blue hologram used on top. The the shock troopers with the riot shields are perfect as well. I love the details are added around the base of the mock and the little vents above Ahsoka. This mock is absolutely brilliant. So for that reason, I'm going to put Fragile Bricks through to the next round. Floating Brick Lego came up with this entry based off Season 1, Episode 17, Dr. Vindy's Lab. I love the use of the tree technique as well as the kind of camera that is used to spy for the lab. Besides that, it's got the classic bomb trooper, and I love the technique he's used for it to crouch over, kind of defuse the bomb. A classic Clone Wars looking mock, and a great entry for the contest. Against that mock is Stope Teagle 7 entry based off the Battle of Yabana from Season 7, Episode 9. I love the Crash Tri-Droid. It's a really cool technique made into that. I'd love to see a full-scale version of that. Besides that, the techniques for the kind of damaged bridge built into the mock is really cool, as well as the kind of hose piece used as kind of the rope for the bridge. So, for those reasons, I've got to put Stoke Teagle 7 through to the next round. Kicking off the final matchup of the round of 16 is Fallen Brick Studios entry based off Umbara, which I thought was going to be quite common, but it seems more people like Season 7. Some of the techniques I'd like to highlight in this mock are the kind of 3x3 plate with a curve on it. Now, I've seen that piece at the pick and brick wall quite a bit, and it works really well for kind of the vines on Umbara. Besides that, great minifig placement, and the custom troopers look really cool. So let's see who he is going up against. The final mock of the round does not disappoint. A build by 247 Bricks is absolutely stunning. Based off Landing at Point Rain from Season 2, the rock work, the minifig placement, the photography for this build are all absolutely perfect. I love how he's been able to use different wedge plates and smooth 3x3 tiles, as well as the addition of the flying Geonosians and the spires. I did not know that they had a 6x2 wedge plate in the dark orange kind of colour, so that was interesting to learn. But aside of that, the border looks great, and for all of those reasons combined, this mock goes through